Right. The first card you have, you pass the Two of Swords. Okay, so I'm just looking at this woman. There's two swords, there's one on each side, and she's kind of in the middle, and she's kind of pulled in both directions. She doesn't know which way to go. So it's kind of like a little bit of a tug of war. That's what I'm feeling. Something's going backwards and forwards, or it was, might still be. It didn't feel like a war. I think people were trying to make the best out of a situation. There was some backwards and forwards. You know what this feels like? It feels like when parents divorce and a child has to go backwards and forwards between the parents. So it might literally be that, or it might be something that feels a bit like that. So yeah, there's someone around you. You love this person very, very much, very, very, very dearly. You really love them. Not in a romantic way. And I think this is this person that's kind of going backwards and forwards. So they're with you sometimes, they're away from you sometimes. And I think when they leave you, you really feel it. You know, I'm just getting this, you know, I want to reach out to you, I want to hold you, I want to bring you back, but I can't do that. That's how I feel. It's very, very emotional. You do feel that every time they go away. You wonder what's happening to them and all of that kind of thing. Now, I'm getting silence as well. I don't think you're saying anything to them, because I think you don't want to hurt them. That's what I'm seeing, and they don't say much either to you. So, because it's a little bit difficult. And yeah, they don't say a lot. And I think part of you would like to know a little bit more about how they feel, what's going on in their mind and their world. But I don't think you say much. I think you curb what you're saying to them or what you ask them as well, because it's kind of like you don't want to bug them. You don't want to make things worse. You don't want to make things awkward. You don't want to make them feel guilty and have to tell you about things if they don't want to. You just want to minimize the stress. That's why you're not saying much, and that's why they're not as well, I think. So, you know, if this is resonating, just know that they appreciate this about you. They appreciate that, you know, they are going through a little bit of stress, or more than a bit, actually. A bit, it's not huge, it's just a bit. And, you know, of course they are, you know that. But you represent a haven for them. That's what I'm getting. There's this feeling of being at home. That's how they feel around you. They appreciate you being the way you are. They appreciate you not pushing this and asking them questions and kind of grilling them. They appreciate that. So it's really because, and the fact that they're not saying much, their silence, it's more about, you know, they feel as if they're able to be themselves. They don't feel pressured. So it's like, you know, it's like when you have a demanding job and you come home and you just don't want to feel like talking. You just don't feel like talking. You don't want to do anything. That's kind of what it feels to them. And so they probably come back to you. They're very quiet, and you're probably wondering, oh, I wonder if I should say anything. I want to ask them if everything's okay. And you do to a certain point, but you don't push things. And they're very quiet as well. I'm getting that as well. But I think what I'm seeing is they appreciate that about you. They appreciate that you don't push that. I just wanted you to know that, because I think there's a lot of anxiety or a lot of worry around this, and I feel as if I had to tell you that. Okay, so the next card you have your past is the Five of Cups. Yeah, look at this. You miss them. When they're away, you miss them. This is this here. So, you know, this situation's going to change. It's not going to be like this forever. You know, I think you do have a plan. I think you have a few plans, actually, but there's going to be something outside of those plans, I think. There's going to be some kind of change, and this change will happen, and I think you'll have more control over things. You'll have more control over your life, actually. That's what I'm getting. Yeah, there's some kind of, it might be some kind of job or business or financial change or something like that. And that's going to be a good help to both of you. It's going to open up a lot of opportunities for you and for them. There's travel here as well. There's moving. You're probably both going to move. And if you do move, it'll be together. That's what I'm seeing. And I think maybe where you are now, it might be your location, might be, I don't know. I think wherever you are now, wherever you are, whether that's a place, whether that's where you are in your life, it feels quite limiting to me in some ways. If it is a location, it might be that the people that are around you, not everyone, but there's a kind of a cultural way of thinking or something, and it doesn't really suit you. They're very different to you. I'm getting that. Maybe there's a lack of some opportunities as well. And, because you care about this person, and if they're a child or a teenager or even a young adult, you're probably thinking about their education and options and things like that as well. And again, I just want to say this as well, because I keep on seeing this. They are impacted by this situation. Of course they are. It's not as bad as you're probably imagining. There's pressure around this, and of course there are problems. I'm not going to pretend there are no problems, but try not to project your worries onto this. You've got a lot of worries. Don't make it worse than it actually is in your mind. I can see you've got solutions coming up. You've got plans. There's something coming up as well. So kind of keep on focusing on that. Keep on doing what you're doing. And they appreciate what you're doing as well. I keep on seeing that. So you're doing really well with what you have. So keep on doing what you're doing. That's what I'm seeing. I know it's very stressful, and I can't say to you, oh, don't stress about this, because of course you're going to. I know that. But try to minimize it as much as you can and just keep on doing what you're doing, because you're doing the right thing. Excuse me, I'm sorry about that. All right, so the last card you have your past is the Chariot. I'm sorry about that cough. So I think you do feel quite alone in all of this. Actually, you're quite alone, like this man in this chariot. He's sitting there by himself, and I think because there's a lot of non-communication around you. I don't want to say lack of communication, because this is a choice. You're not saying much. They're not saying much, and it's so that you don't hurt people or make more stress. That's what I'm seeing. But yeah, there's that, and it does get a little bit lonely. I can see that. And I think there's a lot of seriousness on this man's face as well. So I think you're kind of gearing up to stand up for yourself in some way. It might be around the workplace. There's a bit of unsurety. I think you're probably a little bit worried about all of this. And it is about speaking up or doing something to kind of stand up for yourself. Again, you're responsible for a lot, and you feel quite alone with a lot of these responsibilities. And usually if something's working really well for you, like a job, if it is a job or whatever, you don't like to mess that up. You like having that stability. So, I do think something needs to be said, though, and that, or something needs to be done. And I think the other person, or whoever that you're going to talk to, I think they're going to be quite surprised when they find out it's you that's doing this and saying this, because you've been keeping a lot of this to yourself, I think. And I think because you haven't said much so far, when you do say something, it's going to make even more of an impact, because you haven't been going on about this on and on. So it's like, oh, I'm surprised. So it's this element of surprise, and I think that's going to work in your favor as well, if that all makes sense to you. But yeah, it's not just a person, it's some big thing. It might be like a system, or there's some kind of big set of rules or a bureaucracy, something like that. Maybe you work for a big company. It might not be that, but it's a big thing you're facing. It's big. And a lot of people are daunted by this. But yeah, you're going to tackle this. And once you make up your mind to do things, and you've given this a lot of thought as well. If you're worrying that this is going to affect your livelihood in some way, or your money or your reputation, I'm not seeing that happening. So put that worry aside, because you put a lot of thought into this and you like things to be stable. So you're not going to rock the boat too much. It's going to be fine, and it's not going to harm you. Taking this action isn't going to harm you, whether you're saying something or doing something, standing up to this big thing, bureaucracy, company, whatever this is. It's not going to make any harm come onto you. That's what I'm trying to say. I'm not articulating it very well, am I? All right, so the first card you have here present is, the Seven of Pentacles. Okay, so yeah, it's going to be fine. Once again, it's not going to affect you negatively. You have this really good combination of being determined, which is what I'm seeing in the Chariot, with being patient, which is what this card's about. So you've got those two. So yeah, nothing's going to affect you. Your money won't be compromised. I'm not seeing any of that happening. I'm also seeing an unequal situation here in this card. It feels very unequal. And I think this is to do with love, but I think this is a past person. Someone misses you. And there's something to do with money around this. It's probably something that happened in the past between you and them about money or something like that. So I just have to say there's a lot of imbalance in this reading so far. It feels a bit like a chess game to me. I think a lot of things have been quite difficult for you, especially in this past year, and it feels very structured and very kind of locked in, like a kind of a chess game. It's like if I move this way or that way, I have to think really seriously and carefully about all the results, and I can't really do this for that reason, and I can't do this for the other reason. Every decision you've had to make for a long, long time, I think it feels very heavy, very weighted, very serious, full of different consequences that you have to kind of think about before you do anything. And you've been tested as well. I'm seeing that as well. Your patience has been really tested. So you can't be very spontaneous, and I think you're still like that right now. You have to think about every move you make. So if that's making sense to you, and you're like this right now especially, I just want to tell you that this is all going to lift. I'm seeing this heaviness really lifting. This whole feeling is going to lift. I was seeing that in the Five of Cups, and I'm seeing it here as well. It's going to lift. You're going to grow out of this position. You're going to grow financially as well. And that's going to help this. It's going to help you and this person as well. I'm seeing that again. I'm just repeating myself. But yeah, this other thing, this love connection, an ex, I think. Yeah, it is an ex, definitely. You're a million miles away from them in thought, definitely, and physically as well. They're definitely thinking about you. They have some regrets. There was a lot of imbalance in the relationship, financial imbalance. Because if you look at this man, all these coins are kind of in the bush next to him, but there's only one in front of him. So someone was taking more than they were giving, definitely financially, maybe even emotionally in other ways as well. Just watch out, because I'm seeing someone who does this. I think they've done this to someone after you as well. They've been in a relationship after you, and they've taken more than they've given in that as well. And I'm seeing something really strange here. I think they might have made you out to be quite a bad person to this other person. It's like, oh, my ex is crazy, or they're bad, or they're going to say all these horrible things about me. And this other person that they're with thought, oh, that horrible person. But now they're in the position that you were in. So just be very, very careful about this. I'm not saying watch out because I think you're going to come back to them. I don't think you are going to do that. But watch out for communication for them, coming from them, I should say. Because, yeah, they've left this person. Now they're kind of on the lookout for someone else. That's what I'm seeing. And they don't kind of... they don't mind looking back into old relationships and seeing if there's anyone available there as well. So yeah, just watch out with this whole thing. And I think you know that it's not very good. So I think you are going to be very careful to stay away from them. All right, so the next card you have for your presents, the Five of Wands. Yeah, chaos. Look at that. This is what they represent. Chaos. You're not going to talk to them. You're not going to give in to this. You're not going to have any more chaos because you have a lot of stress around you already. You have this situation where you're kind of having to think of your every move. You've got this person you care about. You're worried about them. You've got this kind of situation that you're not very happy with, and you're trying to get out of that. And you will. You absolutely will. But you don't need any unnecessary stress, and that's why you're not going to talk to them. And anyone else that's going to bring you any stress, you're not going to deal with anything like that either. You're not going to answer the phone to any crazy calls that you don't want. You're not going to let any things that aren't helping you into your life anymore. And I'm getting this, especially around your home, because I'm getting this, my home's a sanctuary. So I'm seeing you doing things around your home, like, peaceful things. You might have candles around your home and things like that. You're making a nice nest, a nice sanctuary around your home. And this person that you care about, who's kind of going from you to someone else and back again, They know that. They appreciate that. They love the atmosphere that you're setting up for them. They have a lot of, not a lot, but they have a bit of chaos, in their lives. They're adjusting to all of that. They're trying to make sense of all of that. And I think when they come back to you, everything feels a lot calmer for them. So yeah, again, they might not say much, but yeah, they can be themselves around you. They feel a lot calmer around you and the atmosphere that you've created. And that's a huge compliment to you. They appreciate you. So just know that once again, I'm getting that again. And I feel as if I have to keep on telling you that, giving you that message. It keeps on coming back again and again. So I think someone needs to be reassured. They're worrying that they're not giving this person all that they need. You absolutely are if this is about you. Okay, the last card you have for your present is the Three of Swords. Yes. Yeah, so you're worrying about this. You're really worrying. You're in the situation. You know it's not ideal. And again, here we are. You've got you on one side, someone else on the other side, and here's this person in the middle going backwards and forwards. That's what I'm seeing in this card. And, you know, it's going to end. You know it's not ideal. It's going to come to an end. Yeah, there's a really disappointing feeling around this. Of course, you know, it's like, and it's heartbreaking as well. That's what this card's about. You know, you didn't want things to turn out like this, and you're kind of having to make the best of the situation. And you're doing that. You're doing really, really well. There's a lot of rain here. There's thunder here as well. That's past. That's what I'm seeing. You've gotten over the worst. And I think most of your heart now is really for this person who's in the middle going backwards and forwards. Yeah, if this is for you, if you're feeling like this, firstly, just know that they're doing the best that they can. They appreciate what you're doing, and it's going to change. I'm seeing that as well. There's going to be a turning point. I think there's money that's going to come in with this turning point. It's something like that that's going to change. Yeah, there is money that's coming in with that. Might be a new job, might be some kind of thing that changes for you. Yeah, the message here is just, you know, hang in there. The worst's over. You're doing the best you can. So just keep on doing whatever you're doing until that change comes in for you. That's all I can really say. But, you know, you're doing an amazing job. You've been through so much. I can see that. I really, really can. Yeah, this change might be a job, a new job. You know, there's travel with this as well. You're both going to travel or go somewhere together. I'm seeing that. I'm seeing that very clearly. Okay. The first card you have for your future is the Ten of Pentacles. Yeah, again, you're doing what you can. You're working really hard, building things up, building this sense of stability and this sense of family that's in this card. And the thing I'm getting here is you can trust yourself. You can rely on yourself. There haven't been many people around you who you could rely on, even for simple little things. You know, even little things. People say, oh, I'll do this. I'll be there at 8 o'clock. I'll come and help you with this. La, 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 la. And they don't do any of those things. So even on little things, even on a tiny scale, you can't rely on people. There are people you can, but you haven't seen many of those people, sadly. So, you know, I think you're in this mindset of, well, if I mess up, I've only got myself to blame, and I want to be like that for now anyway. I want to be by myself for now. And sorry about that noise. Someone's announcing something in the back. I don't know what that is. It's really driving me crazy. It really gets my... Yeah. Okay. Okay. So yeah, you're happy to be by yourself for now. That's what I'm getting in this. Obviously, this is if you're single. I don't think you want to stay completely by yourself forever, but I think at this time, this is suiting you. You have other people in your life as well, but I think in your immediate future, you're going to keep on doing whatever you're doing now, building things up for yourself and for this other person. And yeah, stability, family, all of that. So just keep on going and doing whatever you're doing until you come to this turning point. And I think that's all you can really do anyway. So just keep on going. Okay, so the next card you have, your future, is the World. I love this. I'm so glad you have this. You know, you have this and you have the Star together, and it's a really amazing, fantastic pairing. And I love that this is in the end. And this is showing me this turning point, this turnaround. That's what the World's about. Big endings, big beginnings. It's going to happen. And again, it's destined to happen to you or for you with the Star here. So, a lot of things are going to look very, very different to you. for you and them. And you're in this together. You're in this together. You go together. You're both going to benefit from this. Yeah, you're moving somewhere. Here it is again. Travel, moving. This is what the world can be about. Traveling the world. Might not be the world, but there's some kind of traveling, moving. There's a place your heart wants to be. You'll get there. You're determined. And there's a financial turning point that's going to help you to do that as well. But yeah, once you decide you want to do something, you do it. And that's what you're going to do. And you're bringing this person with you. And again, I think maybe this change is probably going to happen. Okay, this is what I'm seeing. There's going to be another life change that's going to be over, and this one's going to start. I don't know if you're studying or if this other person's studying. I'm seeing something finishing. It feels like a graduation to me. That's why I'm getting studying here. I'm seeing studying, graduation, endings, and then you can begin. So yeah, it's like a door's closing and another one's opening. So one chapter's finished, it's done. The other one's new, fresh, it's opening up. And the timing's going to be perfect in this as well. So this graduation, or whatever this is, if you know when that's coming up for you, that should give you an indication of the timeline of when this all happens. So if you know, okay, I've got this graduation, it's coming up in, November or February or whenever it is, that's when this is all going to start to happen. So that's going to give you an indication of when that is. All right, so the last card you have, your future, is the Star. I think that noise really messed me up. I'm sorry about that. People wonder why I don't go live. I just don't want to be distracted. Okay, so yeah, the Star, obviously beautiful, and it's going with the world. They're going together as a pair. That's how I'm seeing them. It's been quite a rough reading, this one, actually, especially in the early part. So yeah, fantastic to see this at the end. And yeah, you're following your star. You're following a journey, and I think you're supposed to be on this journey. And I think this person does as well. They know that. You probably talk to them about what you'd like to do, where you'd like to be. And I think they're a little bit confused. They don't want to kind of believe that's going to happen. They're still like, oh, I'm still confused. But, I think they would like that to happen. And I think they'll go along with wherever you'd like to go. I love this. There's a lot of acceptance between you and this person. You're happy to let them be themselves. And if you're a parent and they're a child, this is the most beautiful gift you can give to a child, if it is that. Because, for a lot of people, they're forced into doing certain things they don't want to do. They're forced to be certain things that they don't want to be. And I think at one time, maybe in your childhood, you were forced into a mold that you didn't want to be in. You don't want to do that to them. And so if that resonates with you, if that's the case, they appreciate that about you as well. Because this woman's naked. She's being herself. She's totally herself. And they appreciate that about you. So that's a beautiful, beautiful ending. But you're going toward the Star. You're going to where you want. You probably don't see it now because she has her back to the Star. But you're going toward that. You're going to go to this change. It's going to happen for you with the World card. It's turning around in your favor. So just keep on doing what you're doing and you will absolutely get there. That's what I'm seeing.